What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Nico Bryan here from the far end of the bench. It's my center attention this week, and we're going to talk about the sport of the summer. No, not baseball. Soccer, also known as football in Europe and other countries, but here we're talking about soccer. Two biggest stories of the summer so far in the world of soccer. Obviously, Messi taking over the United States in the world of soccer, playing for Inter Miami, scoring 2 goals, scoring the game winner in his first game with 100,000 fans in the stands, higher than any pro hockey, pro basketball game has seen all year long. The hype for Lionel Messi in the United States is an all-time high. It is basically having LeBron James of the soccer world playing for the Guangdong Tigers is where we're at this point. It is something to behold. If you're a listener and you listen in a state where Lionel Messi will be playing in, like for Inter Miami, I would recommend paying the $450 ticket. It is worth it. Absolutely worth it. So that is one of the biggest stories of summer. But there's some other soccer news going on. We have the Women's World Cup going on right now. Our ladies are playing in Auckland, New Zealand. Just finished group play. Barely got through the group play. Had luckily the luck of a post on Monday night, Tuesday morning here in the United States. Got them to win or got them to tie, which got them into second place, where they'll be faced up with the tough Swedes in the round of 16. The women, obviously, they don't have the likes of Mallory Pugh, who from here in Colorado, don't have the likes of the Carly Lloyds of the world. They still have Megan Rapinoe, still have Alex Morgan, still have Lindsey Huron, who's also a Colorado native, still have a great team, but I'm hoping for a much better performance than round 16. These ladies need to step it up because, like I said, there's some holes in these in the cake of armor. The odds-on favorite, which I am not a betting man, but the odds-on favorite right now is the United States, and that's how it should be. But two ties, one tie against Netherlands, who are one of the leading favorites as well, and then obviously a tie against on Monday night as well. Is something that should not be tolerated for the United States women. So I expect them to come through and bring home the gold, or not bring home not the gold, bring home the World Cup, Women's World Cup trophy again. They're down there and down under in New Zealand. So good luck to our women down there. And like I said, soccer, sport of the summer, not baseball. We don't talk about baseball on the show. We talk about soccer here. So good. Look, like I said, Messi's must-watch TV, but these women that are doing great things for the world of soccer are also must-watch TV. Yeah, it might be 1 a.m. or it might be 11 p.m. late your time, wherever you may be, but it's worth the watch to watch these great women play. So that's my center attention this week. So we got lots of stuff to break down. We've been gone for a week, so episode 145 coming your way.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.
Oh, bench warmers, it's good to be back. If you're watching on YouTube, which everybody should, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are watching. Just search Far End of the Bench on YouTube. Follow at FEOTB Pod. Episode 145, we're going to get right into it. Is this gimmick infringement now, Nico? We haven't seen each other since I shaved this in. We had my last wrestling practice.
Hey, looks good, Jimmy. It looks good. I love it.
With all the WWE that I've been watching, it feels a little gimmick infringement-y. Like you're the WWE version, I'm the AEW version. You're Cody Rhodes, I'm Chris Jericho, or whatever other comparison that you want to use.
I love it, Jimmy. I love it. I did not notice you had it literally until you said something, but I love it. And it's a style now. It's cool to have it. It's I've had it for over a year and a half now, which is fucking weird to think about because I used to have the twirl, but now it's just a straight old boxer basically look. So hey, it's a look, Jimmy. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Maybe we need to have a hashtag mustache bros or something on the fucking title of the show because we're back and we're vibing.
We could do that. We could have an idea for the thumbnail, the Mario and Luigi.
Yeah,
our faces
I got
Mario
a green hat
Luigi.
On. I got a green hat on, so we're already halfway there.
It makes sense. It's interesting. You know that we're in the heart of the summer when we open the show talking about our facial hair. As a social studies teacher, this makes sense too. So It's funny that you don't notice, because if you know that I am a social studies teacher, like the mustache fits the fact that I'm going to have the mustache. I honestly think it was a little bit of like, those feelings of subconscious panic. You're going to start something again. School is getting ready to start. Students will be back in my classroom next Tuesday. So I will be, that'll be a new wrinkle in my life. But I had that subconscious panic where you're like, oh my gosh. And I just did it. I was like, I guess I'll have the mustache. And the second year of my teaching career, you will be able to tell that it's the second year, because I will have the mustache. I don't know if it's going to stick, but for the entire school year.
Once you're in, you're already in. That's what I realized. It's hard to get rid of it now. It really is. It's hard. It's just me now. It really is at this point. It's just me, and you'll get to that point, and you'll thrive. You'll thrive.
It is funny because I've been keeping like a longer beard, and now that I'm shaved in the mustache and I've had my facial hair longer, I can feel it grow back quicker. So it is actually going to be a lot more work on my part. I'm doing this.
It really does take it comes back.
And there's no rhyme or reason. I have no rhyme or reason to it. Like sometimes I feel the inkling, the need to just change something. I do normally go like long stretches of time, like the goatee. I used to do the pirate goatee, like the good old Paxton Lynch. Haven't said that name on this podcast in 2.5 years, but I used to have the good old Paxton Lynch swashbuckler goatee that stuck around for quite a while. And I don't know what it is. I use it as like a teller, but passing time. Last year when I was in the thick of it, waiting to get to spring break, scratching and clawing, I grew my hair and my beard out all at the same time. I look like I said, Tom Hanks on Castaway. You can go back to those episodes and listen to me. That's a verbatim quote that I've said on this podcast.
It's that time of the year where you just gotta try something different. It really is. It's a lot of different things going on that you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me wear a tie-dye shirt in the middle of summer. Fuck it. Let me get a fucking suede short sleeve shirt to wear for a wedding. That's where I'm at too, buddy. So it's the season to fucking try shit. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's like the one thing. Everything else feels like it's out of my control, but this is what I can control. It's like Britney Spears when she shaved her head. You're like, I get the message, the point you were getting across. I just feel like there was a better way we could have gone about this. That was not the conversation that I was expecting to kick off the show, but thank you everybody for tuning in again. I know we missed another week. It's kind of how the summer goes.
Let us be, all right. It's tough.
Nico's traveling, so this is the first year where Nico's basically traveling every week during the summer,
every single week. And look, I love it. I really do love it. Last week I was in Dallas. Dallas is always great. Back-to-back weekends in Texas is fun. And this weekend I'm in Baltimore. I'm at Homewood Field, Johns Hopkins University. So I'm super psyched to be there. So don't get me wrong. I love traveling, but I'll be lying to you if these 5 a.m. fucking flights aren't kicking my ass, and they are. Okay, so you gotta bear with us a little bit during the summer.
That, and since she is a regular listener and a regular contributor in the comment section, which everybody should go and do, like the video, subscribe, share it, tell a friend, all the stuff that we normally say. If you're already subscribed or followed, unfollow, unsubscribe, and resubscribe. It was Raleigh's birthday last Wednesday also. Normally we'd shoot to record on Tuesdays. If we can't make Tuesday work, we try and make Wednesday work. And Wednesday was her actual 26th birthday. So happy birthday to Raleigh. My girlfriend, we went out to Georgetown. If you live in Colorado and you're familiar, we went out to Georgetown. They have like the little train loop, which was interesting. Like, it was cool. I really enjoyed it. It's beautiful scenery, especially now. I'm a mountain boy at heart. Like, it causes issues in the staff meetings when they're like, would you rather vacation at the beach or in the mountains? And I'm like, I'm going to the mountains. And it doesn't matter the time of year. I'll go up there, sit in a cabin with a fire if it's cold. I'll go up there and sit out next to a river if it's summertime. There's no bad time of the year to go to the mountains for me.
I've been asked, like, where do you want to, like, just spend a week on and just vacation? And I'm like, Montana. They're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? I'm like, yeah, get me in the woods, get me with the river next to me, and just get me out of the blue somewhere. I don't care, and with just nature, and I'll be fine. That's literally how we are living in a mile high. That's just how we are. Like, look, the beach is nice, but I'd rather be sucking wind in higher elevation is all I'll say.
it's just it changes so quickly. When I was out in North Carolina, the tide shifted to the point where like where we were sitting, we were underwater at one point. I was like, this isn't fun. I have to gauge where the moon is based, and that's going to be where I sit, and I'm on the water, so it's windy, and there's sand in places that I didn't know sand could get. It's not my thing. I apologize. Not to say that if it's your thing, it's your thing.
It's just not
I
us.
haven't ever done really. I've never done like a lake house situation, so maybe if I had one of those, it would be different. But I've
Yeah, but
done
that's
a condo.
mountain-esque also.
Yeah, it is. It could be one and the same. I've done a condo in the mountains. That was awesome. It's one of my favorite vacations. Going along with the fact that we almost lost my youngest brother, even in spite of that, on that trip, that was still one of the best trips. I also fell out of the alpine slide, scraped up my elbow, busted my nose. I was bleeding down my face, and little 11-year-old me. Here's the thing: what you need to know about me. I was pissed off more that I fell out of the thing, and I was all scraped up. I wasn't necessarily. My feelings weren't hurt. I was mad, so I put the cart back in, and I went all the way down the mountain. When I got down, they just see a 11-year-old kid with blood streaming down his face. His elbows are all skinned up. He pissed off. Like, what's going on? I fell out of the stupid thing. I slid on the fiberglass. Are you
alone.
done?
I'm fine. Just leave me. I'm fine. Just leave me alone. I'm just more upset that I fucking.
I'm
fell
going
off.
up. I'm doing it again. I'm not.
I want to go fast, Ricky Bobby. God damn it! I want to go fast.
Let's start talking about some of the sports that we have to get to.
Some sports have happened. Crazy.
Some sports have happened. Yes, some sports. Have you been watching? Because I know that there's been a few golf tournaments. Is that something that you've been watching, or you're too busy?
Unless it's the Masters. I watched a little bit of the British Open, but not much. Like now that I can't really bet. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit down and watch this golf for the fuck of it. It's part of the fun for watching golf is also having money on it, and I can't bet on these, so it's kind of hard to get into it. To be honest with you, it's more like, oh, I hope this guy does well. Probably not really along those lines. It's more of a betting something I'd watch if I'm betting, but obviously can't. So it's been entertaining. Some of the best golfers in the world have been good, but I don't know. I just have not been deep dive into it.
Golf is honestly more interesting now for full swing, and the Live merger and the fact that that's been so shady and how they screwed everybody over. I haven't been paying attention to it. It's that time. Like I will say this now, and we're gonna have a section where we talk about it. Where I sat down and watched the entire NXT live event that they did over the weekend. Dom and I sat down and watched it from start to finish. Part of it, we were playing WWE on the PS4 while I had it up on my laptop. It was one of those weekends because that's the point of the sports calendar that we're at. But UFC 291, Poirier versus Gaethje 2, ended on a high note. It was pretty the main card, especially if you watch the pay-per-view. This was a pay-per-view that was worth the money, worth the $70 that you had to pay on ESPN Plus, because you had finish, split decision, so close fight in the co-main event.
Yeah, still a great fight.
And a second round KO, and it was the guy that not everybody. He was the betting underdog, and I honestly, I wanted to see the fight again, and I will probably, even if the same guy wins the fight, I will watch them fight 8 times. Oh, they can just get together on Tuesday nights, kind of like how Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner, like, let's just throw them together again. They don't have any reason to fight. They've already fought 8 times, but it's going to be entertaining. People are going to watch. It was as good a card as you could have hoped for if you were Dana White going into this weekend, but it really, even going up against the Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford fight, there was no competition. The UFC by far outperformed in every sense.
What happened, Jimmy? What boxing fight? Oh, I was in Texas, Jimmy, and no one was talking about the freaking boxing because they played at Cowboy Stadium, or they fought at Cowboy Stadium, and I didn't even know that was a thing in Texas, literally right down the street from me, until I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw, guy taunting guy while fighting another guy, and I was like, oh, there's boxing on? What's going on? I was like, oh, that's a Cowboy Stadium? Oh, that's a big fight. Oh,
It's
okay.
the
Oh, what,
pound
let
for
me look at
pound
this
number
Gaethje.
one.
I was like, yeah, let me look at this Gaethje knockout again. It was literally that. This is why I talked about what was 2 weeks ago. That I said the best man on the planet is the UFC heavyweight champion. I know Tyson Fury is a bad man, but John Jones is a fucking badder man, and I'll stick by that. But yeah, Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. Poirier beat Gaethje the first time, so it was a rematch, and they brought the BMF title back. I think it was the perfect time because these two absolutely kicked the shit out of each other the first time. And this second time did not disappoint. I don't think Gaethje has ever thrown a high kick like that in his life. I'll be honest with you. I think
we should have seen it coming. Even though he's never thrown it, we should have seen it coming because you know the mind that's behind Justin Gaethje.
He's an absolute genius, and
Trevor Whitman is
a genius, and
he's gonna go down as he's in that same tier as the Greg Jacksons and Firas Zahabis, the guys that train the greatest fighters in the world. Trevor Whitman thinks at that level, and that's coming from everybody that's worked with him: Brendan Schaub, Shane Carwin, Justin Gaethje. He focused. You could tell he focused so heavily on the leg kick in the first fight. We've already got him thinking about this. It's a Rocky switching to orthodox in the second movie, and then you switch back. He's not expecting it. We're just going to throw leg kicks, and the one time you throw a high kick, he's not going to be expecting it. It's going to land, and you're going to knock him out.
I haven't seen a guy drop that hard on the canvas since Usman Masvidal. Legit, like when he took his head off the shoulder, like that kick literally he punted that Poirier's head in the second row. I'm glad he was able to find his head and get back. But man, look, those two of the highest world class athletes in the world. It was a hell of a fight. I'd expect them to run it back. Look. The BMF title wasn't contested for 4 years. 2019 was the first time it was contested with Masvidal and Diaz. I hope that this can be a thing because you look at that division. You have the Chandlers of the world. You have the McGregors of the world that fight in that division. It's a division where a lot of people can go up and down and be like, fuck it, I want to fight. Like I want to fight. It's a title that you can be like, you know what? I'll cut weight. I will put more weight on just so I can have that BMF title. It's we'll have a WWE conversation here in a little bit, but it's basically the hardcore championship. It's like I don't give a fuck, but it's a cool damn championship to have that you're like, man, it's I am the BMF, like the best motherfucker on the planet. And with that performance, there's zero denying it, in my opinion. And look, you can say, yeah, he probably would have lost against a bigger dude, but he's beat some of the best fighters in the world, and Gaethje absolutely deserves that.
He was moving his way. It was a revolving door at the top of that division. We knew that Chandler, we knew that Oliveira, Gaethje, Poirier. We had McGregor in there just because every time he comes back, he's only going to be coming back to fight title fights. After Khabib lost his championship, those were the 5 names that we said could fight each other, and it would be a round robin. It's hot potato with the belt, and it's kind of what it's been, but it's still really every time Michael Chandler has fought somebody in the UFC, it's been a hellacious effort followed by something crazy that happens at the end, some sort of crazy knockout. And I'd say the same thing about Poirier in the last few years. Poirier now, it's interesting because he's already teased retirement after he lost to Khabib. He could fight McGregor if McGregor's going to come back and fight again. He could fight. You could have the trilogy with Gaethje, and who knows what happens after that. But I think those are really the only 2 guys he's looking at.
I mean, if he gets another 2 wins on his belt, if he wants to go at the belt one more time, then that's something. But I'm not sure if he's able to get on that. Bronx is on Makhachev level anymore. I really don't. I think maybe a couple of years ago he might have, but his legs are getting tired, and that chin is obviously getting a lot more tired too. So it's going to be tough. Like I said, I think that he may get a crack at another big name, another big fight, and that'll probably do it because I don't think he wants to go out like that, with his head in the second row. I'm playing simple, and he can only hold his head high with his career so far, but I just think it hard to believe that that's going to be his last fight.
I don't think it's going to be his last fight, but it is interesting too when you watch the post-fight press conferences and you see what he's put out recently. Talk about a guy who he's kind of kept he's had the same girlfriend, wife, partner his entire career. He's built a family. He has businesses outside of fighting. When we talk about all of these sad stories, we also should mention stories like Dustin Poirier, where you come from Louisiana and you've made yourself. He walks into the post-fight press conference after getting his head punted into the second row, like we mentioned a few times. And he was, it happens. That's the price that you pay sometimes to fight in this game. And it's so razor thin. It was really an inch difference. If his hand comes up just a little bit faster, maybe he deflects it enough he can kind of wobble and get back, or it doesn't even affect him at all. So, but he's like, I have a family, I have a beautiful wife, beautiful kid, business, my health. I'm a very I've done everything. I've been the champion. I fought everybody. I've beaten everybody that I needed to, except for the unbeatable, which we all know who that is, unless your name is Tiramisu. But it's been a hell of a career. I agree with you. He's not done. There's not much else you can say about Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje for that matter. If you're talking about guys that go out on their shield, those are two that whether they win UFC gold or not, you could probably argue like impact on the sport is going to be far outweigh whatever accolades they get.
Oh, it's the same thing with Calvin Cerrone. He never won a title. Still the impact. Nate Diaz, the Diaz brothers, never really won a title.
I think Forrest Griffin only had it once too. Like
there's a lot of names where that you're just like, man, these guys brought it. These guys never took no for an answer. Like you never had a doubt that when you saw them on your television that it was going to be a piss poor fight, plain and simple. And they always performed their best, and they always laid everything they had on the line to try to get a piece of gold.
We can kind of mention other fights afterwards, but just the rest of the results from the main card. Blachowicz lost to Pereira in a split decision in the co-main. Derek Lewis TKO in the first round, just over 30 seconds in.
A flying knee that was freaking hilarious. I saw it, I was like, I'm sorry, who this is the guy that took his pants off after the fight?
Oh,
like,
he did it again. Took his pants off again. Because it's in Utah. It's at elevation. He can't fight at elevation.
I think it's illegal to drop your pants like that in Utah. There's some Mormon laws, Jimmy, that I'm pretty sure he probably crossed the line there, buddy. So I think he may have some fines he might have to pay.
What do you think the people in Utah when the people in the arena are like?
Oh my God, earth heavens!
What is his name? The PA, I know it's Bruce Buffer, but just think of like the Utah. Say they had to use the Utah Jazz PA announcer for the introduction. Be like, "What's his nickname?" Yeah, I'm not saying that. I can't say that. It
was like in his post-fight press conference. He's like, "Yeah, man, I knocked the one dude out, and I'm knocked my lady's back out here when I get back home too." And they were like, "Hold up, wait a second. All right, you are in Utah, my friend. We are not in a state that you can really say that or that is really loud. But we'll just let it fly because you had one of the best knockouts, not of the year, but one of the best heavyweight knockouts of the year, at least."
It's so ridiculous. I don't know what he's. I don't know. He is fun. He's and he's cool. I follow him on Instagram just because he's my random. You either have one friend or you have one source of just the most random stupid content on the internet. And I follow Derek Lewis on Instagram, and kudos to him. It's a daily occurrence. He has videos that are like, and it's sent throughout my family group chats. My dad sends them to me now on Instagram. I've infiltrated his algorithm. Yeah, he's so interesting because he only did that. He only came out like that because he doesn't do cardio. He's in such piss poor shape that he had to fight that way and win that way. Otherwise, if it goes past 45 seconds, he's done.
And real talk too, like his last couple fights, he got his ass kicked. Like he was on a 2-fight losing streak, I'm pretty sure. I forgot who he fought, the names off the top of my head. But I remember being like, "Oh, Derek Lewis is on the downside. Like we're nearing the end here. Like this is fun for a week, and doing this performance, I mean, who knows? Like look, he's gonna have to wheel off a couple more wins to get back to Stipe and John Jones. But like it's a step in the right direction, and if he has to do flying knees to get on to the next round, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably not gonna work against everybody, but doesn't hurt to try.
Never gonna do it again. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Fabricio Verdum. Remember when he just jump kicked Travis Brown in the face? It was like the very first opening move, runs across the cage, jumping straight kick like Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport. Yeah, right off the bat. I was like, this is
not
What am I watching? What just happened? And he took his pants off again. What the?
So I'm saying probably got a nice turn talking to by the Utah State Police is all I'm gonna say. All I'm saying is Utah has fucking had two freaking UFC cards like pay-per-view cards in the last calendar year, and Colorado hasn't had a fight here since 2019. Like, come on, all right. The UFC one was here. Get back to Colorado. God damn it. I know people don't like fighting here because it's a mile above elevation. But Utah is 500 or probably 500 feet lower or higher or however the fuck it works.
Let's see.
Like it's not as bad as it's here, but come on, man. Like bring it back here. We need maybe Gaethje will be the one to be like, you know what, I want to fight in Colorado. Maybe because we need somebody that's like, oh, I want to fucking fight in my home state, like Cerrone did, like I forgot who it was, but there's another guy on Carwin, like guys that want to fight here. Like, give me something because we want to go. We want to be at another UFC live event because that shit is fun.
Yeah,
I don't care. Even a fight night. Give me a damn fight night. Like I'm not. Beggars can't be choosers at this point. We haven't even got a damn fight night.
They're about 1,000 feet. It's 4,600 feet is the elevation of Salt Lake City.
Exactly.
So it's basically like being in Montrose. Like we have places in Colorado that are about that elevation, so it's not that much of a difference.
I don't think the UFC would go to Montrose, but you're not wrong.
They don't have the facilities. You don't have the facilities for that, big man. There's like two cities in Colorado, and I think they have them. It's the Budweiser Event Center and it's Ball Arena, and those are the two that can accommodate those types of events.
Maybe CU's basketball stadium and maybe Air Force along those
lines. I haven't been to the DU
Ice Arena. DU Ice Arena is basically like a WWE live show. It's probably not worth even a fight night. It's not big at all.
It makes sense. They're privately.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a sneak preview for next week because isn't that where the tour is coming to the Mile High City? We're getting.
Nico does not have to travel, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope. You don't have to travel. Home. He gets to be the liaison and the go-between for everybody else because he knows everything here.
I know everything, and we literally are down the street staying at DTC Hyatt Regency. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but who the fuck cares? Right down the street from where I live, so it's not that
This
bad.
is a good test. This is a good test because we have been getting a lot more traction. If we have the listeners that's an issue.
There's not enough freaking fanboy lacrosse fans to go suck out the hotel, though.
I think all your fanboy lacrosse guys don't live in Colorado. They
really don't.
Yeah,
so I think
I can think of like Cooper. Cooper would be one that would be interested, but he's not here.
Unless it's your students that are listening that are little lax bros, then that might screw me over. But hey, the cannons will be in room such and such. We'll stay tuned and I'll help you out with that next week.
Yeah,
just not my team. Don't fuck with my team.
You gotta everybody. If you're gonna do that, you should watch the Miami 30 for 30. I think it's the second one that they did. They're talking about no, it's the first one where they're talking about playing Brian Bosworth, and they called up the room that he was in all hours of the night. It's like, I'm gonna kill you. We're gonna kill you. It's gonna be bad. I wouldn't show up if I were you. I wouldn't.
I'll give you everyone but Ash's room. That's all I'll say is you can I'll give you Mark. My boss. I'm obviously joking. All right, I'm not being serious here, but I can joke. Okay, but I'm gonna give you Marcus Holman's room. I'll give you Matt Kavanaugh's room. I'll give you the Colin Curse's room, the goalie. I'll give you whoever you want.
I was gonna say you gotta get the goalie. If you can get the goalie, that's like taking out 5 others psychologically.
Exactly. The goalie is one of my players' brother, so it works even better.
That works. Who are you guys?
This week, this week we play the Chaos. Like I said, we're at Homewood Field, which is like basically the cross royalty. It's the Lambeau Field of college lacrosse is the best way to put it. So it's Hall of Fame weekend. I'm very, very excited. Obviously, we've been on a 2-game skid, but being in Baltimore, which is one of the homes of lacrosse, and especially with a field that has so many legendary players that have stepped on that field and played there, man, I'm so thrilled. I'm gonna get some stupid shit. When I was in Columbus, I got Ohio State stuff that was like football stuff. I'm getting all the Johns Hopkins gear I can for free. I'm gonna make best friends with that freaking laundry guy, and I will stay after just so I can get something.
Nico's washing jock straps. Oh, he's gonna get some free swag out of it.
Fortunately, I have. That's the sad part is that you can joke and say that I have.
My
Like, I
sister
actually
works.
have.
My sister also is running an equipment room, and she just had gear checkout yesterday, and she said it's the worst day of the entire year.
It really is just no fun. It's just like all right.
Is check out or check in worse? I guess you haven't done a check in yet.
I haven't done it. I haven't done a checkout yet because or I haven't take. Oh,
Like a gear check.
We don't really take gear back. From being honest with you, because we're a professional league, so they keep literally 99% of everything except jerseys every week. So it's really not that big of a deal. But it really just depends on certain things that certain guys need.
It's really I forget sometimes that lacrosse can be professional athletes now because that's a relatively new concept. So don't jump down my throat. And then obviously next weekend we'll be in Denver out at DEU Field. I'm going to be there on Saturday, and yeah, I'm excited to see what it is.
We'll go deep down into each game, but we have obviously Redwoods.
I'm gonna go to the Water Dogs,
and you
game.
Better fucking wear Redwoods gear, or else I will disown you.
I'll have to get Redwoods gear. Yeah, I told you at the very beginning.
I have a stupid amount of shit. I can give you a penny. I can give you a shirt or something that'll make you look a lot better than wearing the damn purple and black.
Well, and I told you at the beginning of the year, my allegiance was up for sale. If you talk to your social media people, we started getting some traction, some interactions from the Redwoods account. I would gladly. I'm loyal now because I am an AWL myself. I love Big Cat. I love PFT. They get me through my week. They're funny as hell. I just sit there and laugh half the time at what they say. It's ridiculous. Hopefully, we do that for some people. But if the Redwoods want to slide in there, hit me with a couple likes, a couple retweets.
We start winning, things will look a lot better, is all I'll say.
I don't need to retweet of.
Yeah, when you're losing, things are not fun.
If they retweeted us right now, I'd reply to it -13. What are we talking about? You got to bump. Those are rookie numbers. You got to bump those numbers up. Let's get some Wolf of Wall Street. What do the Broncos do when it's 3rd down and 8 and the defense needs to stop?
I'm gonna start putting some good Gatorade in the damn coolers or some little extra juice packs or something.
That's your issue. You need high quality H2O.
I know. I need to change something because obviously whatever we're on is not working.
He's spitting the cooler. I gotta watch that. Now that I'm saying all this again.
We'll talk about the Broncos here in a second. But did you know that the Broncos were mentioned in Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
I
was stuck in Ted Lasso TikTok for a while, so I've basically seen the entire series now. That was hilarious. It was a hilarious story and the situation in the show. What they said after,
it was a wild stray that I did not expect coming as I was watching the final season.
They're catching strays from everybody. We
really are.
The Frank Clark soundbite kills me.
He's on our team. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I guess we're already there. It's a natural transition. So let's start talking about the Broncos, and then we'll wrap up after trivia. I do still want to talk about NXT, and then also SummerSlam is coming up for this weekend, which I'm excited about. There's been a lot regarding the Broncos that has been said and reported in the media, like you just said, where you're not wrong. I didn't expect. Why am I catching stray bullets? Why are we having these? Who's firing the M16?
I don't know if I'm the only one like this, but I could give 2 fucks about Daniel Hackett. I don't care. Like you want to build this drama for week 5? I don't care. I really don't. Like you're trying. Like people are being like, "Oh, Jets versus Broncos, new rivalry." I don't care. I don't. I really don't. We played them 3 years in a row now. It will be after we beat you 2 years ago. All gas, no brakes. Jimmy was there for that game. And then last year when you beat us, I don't even remember that game because last year was a fucking blur. Like I don't care. I really don't. Look, if I stood outside and said the sky is blue, is the sky gonna be like, you little bitch? I'm not fucking blue. I'm navy. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Look, you can cry all you want, Jets fans. Was he wrong? No, he sucked. Do we not remember us Broncos fans counting down the play clock, Jimmy? Because I remember. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he shouldn't have done that. It's just fucking calling a spade a spade. Like, oh, if your feelings hurt, well, yeah, my feelings are hurt too for how bad that team was.
Here's the thing.
Like, if you want to be Nathaniel had to be like, oh, like I guess someone was insecure. You're a baby back bitch. Plain and simple.
Hackett didn't say that. Let's clear.
He responded back to him on Monday morning. He had a press conference, and they were like, "Yes, it just feels like an insecurity, and felt as though he broke the coach's law." Word for word, what he said, and he did.
And here's the thing. That's so if we're gonna
bad, Jimmy.
It was
so bad.
But that you got to be objective, and we got to make sure it's not, but it should be. Let's pretend like honesty is the best policy. Sean Payton can be honest, but we can also be honest with him and say you should have gone about doing that in another way.
Sure.
You did not need to have your own private interview to call out the guy that you're succeeding, because
I don't
honestly,
think it was basically specifically on him. I think it came up.
No, it was weird too, because why the fuck you're calling out the people that hired you and the people that you're working with that are trying to turn this around.
Look, I will agree with you that he said it the wrong way. I will agree with you. But I will not agree with the fact that it shouldn't have fucking been said. And I'm glad he heard
it shouldn't have been said.
I'm glad
it should have been said in a different way.
Okay, I agree with that. All he had to say was this locker room is fucking shit, and I'm trying to pick it up. That's all he had to say, and it would have worked just fine. Because
the locker room's been shit since DeMarcus and
Payton
I'm
aware of that. I'm aware of that.
So it's really not even.
Last year was the pinnacle of it, Jimmy. Last year was a fucking pinnacle. Counting down the play clock, Jimmy. We counting down the play clock, not using all 6 timeouts you have. Do I want to go down the list of things? Russell Wilson was bad. I know
the coaching,
but it is
in the play.
Like, it is incompetency. And look, I have nothing against the man of Nathaniel Hackett, but the man can't fucking run a team. And someone had to say it. No one wanted to say it. Everyone's like, yeah, the Broncos weren't very good last year. Yeah, unfortunately, the guy who's now the head coach had to say it, but someone had to fucking say it. And I'm sorry that it had to be our head coach, the new head coach, but the man has to fix the locker room. He's trying to fix the locker room. And it's fucking calling a spade a spade. It really is. It's plain and simple as that. The locker room is shit, and he's trying to fix it. It's been trying to be fixed for 5 years. Plain and simple. And last year was however many years it's been. And it's been that bad for that long. And last year, it was the lowest it can be. The lowest it could be. It is the lowest this franchise has been since I think it was 2011 or 2010, the year before Payton came, where we had the second overall pick. It has been that low since that point when we drafted Von Miller second overall. That's how low it got. Because yes, we were bad for those 6 years, but we still fucking weren't the worst team in a fucking in our conference, worst team in the division. We were third or we were second for those times. Yeah, say what you want about Trevor Siemian, say what you want about Case Keenum. The product was watchable. Product was not watchable last year. And look, you can say that, yeah, he should have said it. Yeah, he broke a law. Yeah, broke whatever. Plain and simple, you're trying to motivate a team that is broken, that had a guy tear his Achilles on his first day of padded camp. A team that has been said, no, this is the worst team in football. This team is on a Caleb Williams train. This team has no future. You're trying to fire it up. Plain and simple. Why the fuck would you not try to light a fire under your ass for one game? Plain and simple. Because you know that this team has week 5 circle on its board before Sean Payton said anything. Because Nathaniel Hackett walked in that room and bad things happened. Plain and simple. Bad things are already happening, but it fucking hit Hades level with how low it got. And yes, he should have done that. But yes, it was fucking well needed and well said. And look, this is how. And look, like I said, last year was as low as it could get, Jimmy. Like, we are in the biggest sport in fucking the United States of America. You have a team that can't get a playoff in 30 seconds, Jimmy. 30 seconds. Like you can't get a call into the huddle out to the field, and that's Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett. And we'll see what Russ is made of this year. Plain and simple. I don't know if he's going to suck, and if he does again, we have our first round pick next year, and then we're drafting a quarterback. Plain and simple. But you have to set a precedent like this shit won't fly. Plain and simple. You have to press that because for the last 4 head coaches that have walked through that door since fucking what's his name? Since Gary Kubiak walked out the door, have not done that. They said, let me try to fix this. No, you fucking burn that shit to the ground and you start from scratch. And that's what Sean Payton's doing. And look, as a Broncos fan, I don't like I said, I don't care about fucking Jets Broncos rivalry. I don't. Like you haven't been relevant, neither have we. You got a brand new quarterback, so did we. And it's basically a thought-out process like, can we get relevant again? Plain and simple. That's the question the Jets have. That's the question we have. Can we be relevant again? Can we be relevant to the Bengals, to the Chiefs, to the Bills standard? And the question for both teams currently is no. So whether that will be decided or not remains to be seen. But when you're trying to fire up a team and trying to get things back on track, it's right to say things to get shit out of the way.
It's almost
because those conversations were being said in the locker room. Plain and simple. That's things he said like we're tearing this shit down. We're figuring this out from scratch. Should he have said it in a one-on-one interview? Probably not. But I'm glad at least someone did.
I'm gonna point more to the fact that he ended his initial comments saying it's going to look bad on him. He's going to take responsibility if the team doesn't make the playoffs. He expects them to be a playoff team. I really think that even though this was a mistake, that was the first thing that he came in and addressed it with everybody. You don't make stupid comments in the media. That's not something that we're going to do. We're not going to have Barnaby, the 3-ring circus, P.T. Barnum running this offseason. We're not going to say anything. Mom is going to be the word, and that's going to be that. He's the first one to do it. He shows that, like, hey, I made the mistake. He's kind of owned it. There was no – it's funny. Like, it's petty. It's petty bullshit. It's high school, and – I really don't think Aaron Rodgers has a right to be. Why is Aaron Rodgers defending Nathaniel Hackett? Who are they? I'm not going to say it, but everybody knows what I'm thinking. I'm not going to say it because that's insensitive of me. But dude, God, back off.
Like you really don't have to back it up. Like you could say, yeah, he shouldn't have said it. You could say, yeah, he shouldn't have said it. But there's no defending what he did. There is zero defending.
And you don't need an apology for it. It didn't say anything about you.
Like you're a fucking little sensitive bitch that I wanted here in Denver, funny enough. The only reason why Nathaniel Hackett was brought here is because we thought we had a shot at you. Plain and simple, Jimmy. And anyone that says that's not true is lying to themselves. And you're really being like, he's a great man. Like and under what circumstances did he say he was a bad man? We are not hating the character. He is a nice guy, full of energy, but the man cannot coach fucking football if his life depended on it. Okay, and his job depended on it for 13 weeks last year, and it was the worst football I've ever seen in my life. So you cannot look. Plain simple, Aaron Rodgers. You can be like, maybe Hackett's going to do better now. He's not running the fucking offense. You are. You're going to sit here and tell me that Hackett's calling the plays? Hell no. Aaron Rodgers runs everything that offense will do. Plain and simple. Because if you run the offense, Hackett, the Jets won't finish more than third in their division. Plain and simple. They'll be looking up at the Bills still, and they'll be looking up at the Dolphins, and they'll probably be looking up at the Patriots. Because this is not – look, the Broncos are in a tough division, but so are you. Because you have another top contender in your division. You have a team that has one of the best – one of the biggest legacies in the 21st century of the Patriots, and you have a team of the Dolphins that has had your number for the last 5-6 years. So, look, say what you want about what my coach did, but you better make sure you have your own shit handled.
If I had better,
because you're the one with the coach, not me, not us.
If I had better Photoshop skills, I would be able to make the meme that I'm picturing in my head. But you've seen the Shawshank Redemption, right?
I have not. No, that's how the movie goes.
I get it. You can say it. You're not a nerd. You're not a dork. I watched it in college. I watched it on my own. But they're in prison. They have this group of people. They're like for the lack of a better term, they have non-consensual sex with the other inmates against their will, obviously. But they would say, "Hold my belt loop," and that's how I picture Nathaniel Hackett. One one hand's on Aaron Rodgers' belt loop, the other one's on Robert Saleh's belt loop. Oh, what do I get? I'm the offensive coordinator, guys, right? I get you coffee and I make the copies of the plays and I talk about your
Let's
feelings.
have fun.
I don't coach football. I talk about feelings. Why did they hire me to coach football last year?
Like seriously, and obviously I'm not, again, this is nothing against his character of the man. This is fucking his inability to coach a fucking football team. That's literally all Sean Payton said. There's like, this team was in shambles. This team is in shambles. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to solve it. And I'm glad to see he's taking the ownership. I'm glad he has the balls to say it. Plain and simple. If you're a Broncos fan, you're very much enticed by what he's been saying. Very much enticed. There's not look as a Broncos fan. If you were be like, you know what, I don't like that. You're being soft. Then you're the fucking part of the problem. You're a part of the problem why this team has been the way it's been the last 7 years. You're the part of the problem why this team has just been mid, if at best. It's been terrible. It's been bad. And Pat Bowlen is rolling over in his fucking grave because of how shitty this franchise has been run the last 7 years. Plain and simple. And look, like I said, Sean Payton, luckily the new owners have taken a precedent and taking winning and hopefully turning the ship around. And Sean Payton, like I said, I back you, and so does Broncos country.
I was glad that you addressed it because there are a contingent of Broncos fans that think it was unnecessary or think that they should be focusing on other things. I'm not going to say it's one way or the other. I just think you look at it objectively. There was wrongs on all sides, and I think that there's continuing to be wrongs on all sides. We should just drop it and move on. The only reason we're talking about this is because it's the first day of pads in training camp. Notice how it's Tuesday of the week. And even though they're still responding, by Thursday, I think it's going to be – Thursday's the Hall of Fame game. I think it's going to be over by then. I don't – it's going to blow away. It's going to blow away in the wind.
On top of it, I could care less about the Jets Broncos early. I really could. It doesn't – I don't give a damn. I'm trying to figure out what this team has, what this team can do against the Chiefs, and maybe get a win for the first time in 7 years against them. See what this team is like in this division. Like I said, it's fucking one game against a team that I could care less about. And I'm sorry, Dom, if that hurts your feelings, but I really could care less about the Jets. Like it's a New York market. The only reason why they get fucking pressed is because they're in New York and they play in New York. Plain simple.
Half of ESPN is also a Jets fan. Well, the people that they still have left that they haven't fired.
It's true. It's true. Very true.
That is why they get a majority. Like Greeny, the host of the morning show, is the biggest Jets fan of all time. Let's talk a little bit staying in training camp. Another injury. So Tim Patrick goes down for the Broncos. It's second year in a row. It's just disappointing. There's been a lot of debate. That's what I was hearing today. I was listening to the Fan. I don't know if 92.5 was talking about it too, but like, how big of a loss is it production-wise? Not really. But Tim Patrick is a leader. And I will tell you that game, when we went to the Broncos-Bengals game, the one touchdown that was scored by the Broncos was a Tim Patrick fade in the end zone. And Tim Patrick was the only person on the Broncos offense that I was worried about whatsoever at all. He's the only guy that I noticed. So it's going to be an impactful, but not in ways that you're going to see in the stats.
I will second down on that and KJ Hamler having a heart condition that he's been waiting. So now your third receiver is now Marvin Mims. Like your receiver room that is already depleted. Like, I'm serious. I think the Broncos will have to sign a receiver. Like, I don't know who's available. Maybe Jarvis Landry. Yeah. I don't fucking know.
Julio Jones is another name that's out there.
I highly doubt that one. I think it'll be a younger guy probably. But like I said, you're going to have to sign someone because having your third receiver be your second round or third round pick, whatever Mims was this year, and he wasn't even a highly touted receiver, like, it's going to cause problems already. And who knows what Javonte is going to look like this year back. Obviously, P. Ryan will help a lot, but your offense is already getting depleted. Luckily, your offensive line is already mightily better, so that helps. But you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do offensively, passing the ball, because who knows what Alvaro looks like, who knows what Greg Dulcich looks like. Like I said, there's a bunch of questions. There's a bunch of questions still. And I guess Sean Payton hopefully has the answers, but it is unfortunate. Like I said, that's the second year in a row. Last year was ACL. This year's his Achilles. I hope he's able to come back because not a lot of guys come back after 2 fully missed seasons and get back to the level anywhere near the level that they were. And like I said, Tim Patrick was a good number 2, number 1 guy some nights. and it's going to be a tough road back for him. But I hope that he is able to get a speedy recovery. But questions are going to be asked about who the hell is he going to throw the ball to.
Yeah, he was an undrafted, just kind of a glue guy that's turned himself into a much better player. And it's interesting because I think that you're seeing the possibility of trading a receiver, but now you have all of these extra guys. You're like, we're glad we brought in all of these extra guys because they're going to need.
You're probably making the roster. You thought you had a training camp invite? No, you're welcome to the Denver Broncos, buddy. You're going to be catching passes from a guy who throws bullets.
I saw the same thing. It's just a different position group. Speaking of guys that are a guy that's always hurt in training camp. It's funny because I was hearing this quote go around quite a bit. We're switching gears to the Bengals now, the defending AFC North champions, back-to-back former AFC champions, but I'm not going to mention that. I'm not going to get into it here. Joe Burrow goes down, but the quote that was going around was, "This is the most July practices he's ever had in his career," and I was like, "That is awful. We have to celebrate this." 8 practices and we have to celebrate.
My heart dropped for you. Really, it really did. I saw the video.
I'm very happy with the result, but yes, I woke up from a nap to a text from you that said, "Uh-oh." I went, "Excuse me?
Are we okay? Like, did you do something stupid on Twitter? Like, what happened?
Are you breaking up with me?"
I was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "No, worse. Joe Burrow got carted off." You're like,
"Worse."
Oh, fuck. Way worse.
Damn, I wish you were breaking up with me. But,
damn, fuck.
I can't have anything nice. Who's the offense? I was going to be like, who's the offensive lineman I got to go after now? Who am I going to falsely accuse of tearing his...
himself. It's the turf. It's the turf monster that it's son of a bitch. I will fucking burn you to the ground, you turf.
I swear it's got to be like residual from that stupid ass ACL injury. So I'm still claiming that it's the fault of that because the calf strain, what that says to me is he's been compensating so much with the other parts of his leg that his calf is just gone now. He was already in a compression sleeve on that leg. And yes, it did look like he popped it and he just went down.
It's only 6 to 8 weeks. And who the fuck cares about fucking preseason? So we're fine.
No, and I think too, he went down like that because if you're Joe Burrow at the Cincinnati Bengals facility right now, I think you sneeze and you got 10 tissues coming your way. You got a handkerchief in every different kind of color. They will. You get. You might not have seen this one either. Coming to America, they have the people who throw the rose petals on the floor in front of the Royals. That's Joe Burrow right now. They have just Skyline chili dropped at his feet everywhere he goes in Cincinnati. So I think he went down like that just to be like, oh my God, no. Come get the car.
I don't want to play preseason. I don't want to get yelled at by this podcast in Denver, Colorado about me not playing preseason games. Just let me fucking fake an injury so I can miss preseason games.
And then the fact that Zach Taylor comes out and goes, it's going to be a several week thing. Bullshit. It's going to be a month. And a month. It's the first game. First season game.
Oh, he's perfectly fine. Oh, he's walking just great. Oh man. Oh no.
It is totally. That's all I thought about when I watch the video and I know that he's okay. I just hear the mommy.
Exactly right. If you didn't hear he was okay, then it would be a lot more somber of a.
I wouldn't have been on. I wouldn't have been. I would not.
We would not be joking about this right now.
Cannot tell you the amount of kids that I taught last year that would come back and go, man, what happened? What happened? I don't know.
Just shut up. Go your new teacher. I don't want to fucking see you anymore.
I didn't like you last year.
Leave me alone.
I'm kidding. I didn't like you last year. What are you talking about? I'm joking. That was a joke. Dr. Kane, if you're listening, that was a joke. You don't need to take it out on me. I think we're probably in a good spot to do trivia. Before we get into trivia, let's mention once again, we have a new sponsor at the Variety Sports Network. We are brought to you by the Variety Sports Network. Follow them at Variety_Sports_ and subscribe on YouTube. Old Humble Distilling. If you like whiskey, go to oldhumbledistilling.com. Use promo code Variety Sports, and VSN will pay for your shipping. They will be sponsoring this week's edition of Guess the Bench Trivia. I'm going to change the backgrounds this time. I'm going to do it correctly. I forgot that last time. We didn't notice. But be sure to check out Old Humble Distilling. I still need to get this with school starting, it's going to be a little bit hectic. I am the one that's guessing this week. Nico has the questions. You said the topic is Pro Football Hall of Fame or just Hall of Fame in general?
It's a Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's a Hall of Fame game week. Obviously, you play Thursday, enshrinements are all weekend long, so got to have a little bit of football touch here. I will say, though, it's taken me 54 minutes, and I'm so sad about myself, but I know this part will be clipped. So the Denver Nuggets are still NBA champions. So I had to get that out of the way there. 55 minutes. I'm actually proud of myself. It took me a while, but yeah, thank you, Jimmy, for the part there. Now let's get into the trivia because the Pro Football Hall of Fame's got some. Look, there's some juicy stuff. There's some juicy trivia, and I think I gave you like I said. I think I gave you a lollipop for the niche question. Which your niche question was, I forgot. It was like player teams and statistics, right? I think that's what it was. Yeah, it was
championships, awards, accolades. Yeah,
team guys played for and their accolades. I think this is it's pretty easy one off the top of the head. But there's some doozies if you didn't do your studying, which you may have in the last 30 minutes. Who knows? So
before we get into it, I will say I would do a lot better on this. It's the saddest story that I've ever experienced. I was working. I was a 16-year-old. It was the first job that I got where I could legally work. And my brother was doing a USA football camp. His development games were in Canton. And the rest of my family went. They went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I was left at home because I had to work. And they have a picture of the 5 of them at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And all of them know it's the place where I want to die. It's where I want to be shot in the back of the head. Mafia style.
Maybe we'll have a far on the bench trip in the winter because God knows I need a fucking vacation after this long of a summer, and maybe we go see it because I've never been and obviously want to go see it. So we'll figure that out because I've never been, and obviously the aura of National Football Hall of Fame is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you're ahead 6 points. I have 3 points. So now we can
so I have 6. You have 3, and obviously this is the second round still. So Jimmy has a chance to tie it back up, be lower or be higher. And I think there's some good juicy questions. So let's get into it. First question we have: lollipop, not necessarily lollipop. See how you go about this. Which team has the most Hall of Famers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
All right. Most Pro Football Hall of Famers. It's got to be a team with a lot of championships. So my mind immediately goes to the Patriots. It goes to the Steelers. Patriots are a little bit too recent, so I don't think that they have the most. The Cowboys are there. That's where I'm stuck between. 49ers could possibly, but also the 49ers were a little bit different. They only had a few superstars. Oh. And you know that this is gonna. I think you put this one on here because I think my answer is gonna be right. You didn't think that I would mention them. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. Does Pittsburgh have the most Hall of Famers?
It is not the Pittsburgh Steelers. The correct answer is the Chicago Bears with 37. 30 Hall of Famers that went in as a Chicago Bears, still the most. 37 with guys that played for the Bears at one point, but was also part of it. So 7 guys that also played.
Were any of them in the modern era?
I did not look at the names. I'm gonna be honest with you in that question.
I should have. I feel like my guess wasn't that far.
It wasn't. I think the Packers
were
Super Bowls. Cowboys. I think the Cowboys or Packers were 2 and 3. So you were not far.
Yeah. Well, the Packers too. You forget like with the legacy inductions now too, and they were. It's similar with the NHL. Everything goes back to Chicago, Boston, Toronto, New York, because those were the teams that were there. And George Halas built the NFL, so it makes sense that he has the most NFL Hall of Famers. So I'm an idiot, but I give myself credit because I guessed the damn Steelers, and now I got to go vomit and brush my teeth.
Yeah, I feel bad for you that you actually did that. I would not do that. I know better because I feel like
I thought it was going to be the curveball that I was expecting.
It wasn't a bad question. Okay, number 2, a Denver Bronco is going into the Hall of Fame this upcoming weekend. Part-time Denver Bronco won a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. Though DeMarcus Ware. Where did DeMarcus Ware go to the Hall of Fame? Or sorry, go to college. Excuse me. Where did upcoming 2023 inductee DeMarcus Ware go to college?
Can I get a hint for the region?
It is not a Power 5. I'll give you that. I honestly don't know what region this is in either, if that helps at all. I could not tell you where the school
You don't
is.
have a state.
I don't have a state. I'd have to look it up.
God damn it. Is it an HBCU?
No, not HBCU.
Okay. Well,
Hold on,
that
I'll
kind of
look up
helps
the
me.
state.
I'm so screwed. This is what are we doing? I feel
Hold
like
on.
I'm an actual Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Regis, get out of here. I don't.
That is
It's
not
not that
true.
serious. It ain't that serious.
It is in Mississippi? No.
Oh man.
No, it's not in Mississippi. I don't fucking know, honestly. Look,
Independence Community
it's
College.
it's the answer is Troy University.
Oh, that's in Alabama.
Like I said, that was probably the hardest question. Okay. See, no idea. Somewhere in the South, exactly. I thought it was an up east school, if I'm being honest with you, until I looked it up. And the map was too small, and I didn't really want to take this much time looking at it, so I just said Mississippi because it was right next to it. All right, so over 2.
Yeah. No.
So not off to a hot start, Jimmy. Not off to a hot start. All right, next question. How many kickers are in the Hall of Fame? True kickers listed as a kicker. Obviously, I forgot his name, but there's a red guy who was a quarterback too, so he's not listed there. But true kickers are in the Hall of Fame. Not punters, just kickers.
Damn. Am I getting a range like I did with the last
Yes,
time?
I'll give you 3 up and down. 3 up and down.
All right.
So 3 above it, 3 below it.
For no other reason than it's kind of just a gut feeling, I will say. Now I'm second guessing myself. 16.
You did not cut 3 off. The answer is 4. 4. Yeah, wild. 4 true kickers. Punters, guys that are listed as punters. This is straight off the Pro Football Hall of Fame website. 4 names: Morton Anderson, George Blanda, Lou Groza, and Jan Stenrod. Stenrod are the names. Adam Vinatieri obviously will be a Hall of Famer. He retired in 2021, so not yet there. It's a low number. Like I said, true kickers.
I forget how much we undervalue the life of the kicker. I should have remembered because my dad made the kicker sleep in the bathtub on the road trips in college. I'm pretty disgusted with myself. I'm not gonna lie. This is a bad showing. I feel like
I said, your niche may help you out here, but this next question, I'll give you a hint also. But there is one Hall of Famer in the Pro Football Hall of Fame that never played in the NFL. His name, Billy Shaw. Who did he play for? Hint. This is a current team that is still in existence. Which means for the backstory, this team was an AFL team, became an NFL team when they merged together. But the guy retired in 1969. The merger was 1970. He was still inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's an offensive lineman, by the way. There you go, Jim.
Yeah. I just want a yes or no. I'm going to ask you a question in return, and then I'm going to give you my answer. Did O.J. Simpson also play for this team?
I can't answer that.
So I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills.
That is correct. The Buffalo Bills is the correct answer. Like I said, the merger, AFL-NFL merger, was 1970. He retired in 1969. He was still inducted in, I believe, in the 1980s. So, fun little fact, only one Hall of Famer. Never played in the NFL, only played in the AFL. All right, final question, your niche question. This is a fun one. There are 9 fullbacks in the Hall of Fame. Only one of those in the Hall of Fame is also in the Hall of Fame for another sport. Name the athlete in the Hall of Fame. And what sport the athlete is also in the Hall of Fame for. Like I said, I'll repeat. It's a long question. 9 fullbacks in the Hall of Fame. Only one is in 2 separate sports Hall of Fames: Pro Football Hall of Fame and one other sport. What was the name of the athlete and what is the sport? 2-part question. Your double bonus here.
Oh man, because it's I don't know how many people
you're gonna hit yourself. You're gonna hit yourself once I say it. Is all I'm gonna say.
It's Jim Brown and it's lacrosse. How about that?
Yeah, winner, chicken dinner. Yes, Jim Brown is listed as a fullback. Obviously, Cleveland Brown legend. The man is in the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame as well. There you go. You got your 3 to even it back up. You worked it back up. That, like I said, look, the also funny enough, this weekend for the PLL is the Hall of Fame weekend. So we have a lot of enshrinements. So I will be there for the Hall of Fame weekend. I had to throw that in as well. But Jim Brown, also one of the greatest lacrosse players of all time. A guy that transcended playing 2 sports before Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders made it look cool. That's all I'll say. Yeah.
Also was the one of the color commentators of the first UFC event.
It's true. This is true.
Joe Rogan was he was an interviewer in the octagon only. He was not a commentator. It was not good. I'm just gonna say that it wasn't great when he was doing it.
The late great Jim Brown, rest in peace.
Yes, I forgot. I was out with the other teachers when that happened. When I heard about him passing. Okay, I feel better about myself now.
I told you I had to give you some tough questions. You gave me some tough questions last week, and some of those I feel like you could have found your way to, but the two that
I should have. You're a better friend than I gave you credit for on that first question. I was really thinking like, oh, he hid. I do that with my test. I hide the answer within the question. I was like, what team would I hate to have to give credit to the most? And it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It without a doubt. It hurts me so much. They have my favorite player that played my position of all time.
It's crazy because Munoz is not number 1, but yeah.
He didn't play my position.
That's true.
Well,
that's fair.
I will say Bruce Matthews is really close, but Mike Webster, the pipes on that guy, it's unfortunate to hit the ending of his life, but he was one of the initial linemen that never wore sleeves, and he would just have like Vaseline oil on his arms to try and keep himself warm, and just he was something else playing back in those steel curtain Steelers days. That'll do it for our Guess the Bench segment. Tie ball game.
We obviously are 500. We only get 3 points every single week, so
it's easy math. I'll keep it because the math when we get to the pick'em is difficult, but this one is easy math. Remember that is presented by Old Humble Distilling. If you go to oldhumbledistilling.com, use promo code Variety Sports. VSN will pay for your shipping. Be sure to check them out. Quench your thirst for the end of the summer. Help out the Variety Sports Network. Everybody loves a good bottle of whiskey for football season. College football, pro football coming up. What else are you going to do on your Saturdays and Sundays? You got to be sick for some reason or another so you don't have to go to brunch. Okay, let's get a hangover working so we don't have to go out here, people. Think smarter, not harder. Work smarter, not harder. That's what I meant to say. I want to wrap this up. I know that we're already over an hour. We're going to really quickly I'm going to give you my sales pitch on why I think you need to watch at least parts of the NXT event that just happened. You do have a Peacock account. It is available. So if you have Peacock for The Office, if you're listening to this, also check out that. And then also SummerSlam is this weekend, which it's the second, I'll say third biggest pay-per-view. I think it's WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and then SummerSlam are the 3 biggest events on the WWE calendar. It's this weekend. We have the biggest person in the company currently. Roman Reigns is the new John Cena, whether people like it or not. He is wrestling in the biggest match of the year so far. Or second. Yeah, I will say biggest. I think so. I don't know. I'm rambling already.
I would. They call it the Big Four. It's Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series are the Big Four.
I forgot about Survivor Series. Yeah,
but yeah, I do. I would put it second behind WrestleMania as the biggest event. I like the Royal Rumble a little bit more because it's more fun in my opinion. But yeah, it's a fun event every single summer. Isn't he fighting his cousin? And he's
Zeus?
And isn't what's his face? Who's someone else is fighting?
Heyman.
Rhodes. Yeah, Heyman's there, and Rhodes is fighting
Lesnar.
That's about all I know.
Logan Paul is wrestling Ricochet.
That will come across my Twitter timeline. I guarantee you that. So I will. I am excited.
I am actually super.
Oh, sorry,
because
Jimmy, not Twitter. My X timeline. We're gonna have to update all of our shit. Sorry.
that's gonna suck. Unfortunate.
Still blows
I
my
don't
mind.
get it.
Yeah, I don't come across my X timeline.
The reasons why you and I like professional wrestling, that we watch professional wrestling, is because
There's nothing else to do during the summer to watch besides Shark Week,
think,
the 1 week out of the summer.
think about it. I'm not asking you for now. I want you to think about back when we were kids. You and I first meeting each other. You have the long blonde hair, and we're wrestling fans. And at that point, it's not. We know that it's not true. It's not real.
Honestly, I didn't know.
I
didn't know it was fake until like 4 years in watching it. This is like middle school, so it's actually kind of disappointing. It took me that long to figure it out, but
we're hooked enough. It's the soap opera of what happens, and it's some of the things that people can do are very impressive as well. But it's
reality television that you don't. Yeah, it's scripted, but it's like watching a movie. You don't know what's going to happen, but it's still entertaining.
And it's the same. So the same way, and I'm probably spoiling it for some people, but the same way how in movies, the good guy at some point in the final fight is going to be at a disadvantage and the other person is going to kick the shit out of them for a portion of that fight. And then somehow the hero is going to find it within himself and overcome and win the fight. Or in WWE, the best thing about what can happen is sometimes that doesn't happen. I'll never forget. It's the first pay-per-view. My parents surprised us with WWE Network, and it was a SummerSlam. It was a SummerSlam. John Cena wrestled Brock Lesnar, and I was in at this point because the vignettes leading up to that, I thought that this was going to be just the biggest event of all time. And John Cena got German suplexed 16 times and just got pinned in the center of the ring. And I was like, what the hell? Because I'm not used to that. But that is why WWE is enticing. This is my pitch for you because I'm going to give them the credit that they deserve. I hope they win match of the year. And it's weird to get into ranking systems and it's really subjective when you get to that point. And what I'm saying can be taken as subjective too. So I'm not going to put that past myself. What I am saying is probably heavily my own opinion, but I think a lot of people will agree. Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes had the match of the year, and they are in, quote, the development program. I don't know who they were working with to set up that match and how they came up with the story that they told. The spots were interesting, stuff that I've never seen before. I give a lot of credit to those. Like, it's one of, I'm 25. I'm going to be 26. You're going to be 26 soon. I'm going to be in my second year teaching middle school. I have no reason to be as engrossed in this as I am, but I'm telling you, I could not look. That was it. That was all that was happening. No, and I didn't know. I had no idea who was going to win. I was back in that. Oh, I really hope Ilya Dragunov is going to take this. I don't know what's going to happen because everybody's hit their finishers twice. It's kind of like watching a John Cena match at this point. Oh, he hit an attitude adjustment. He's going to get kicked out of. He's going to hit an attitude adjustment off the top rope. Oh, it might get kicked out of. You're going to have to hit 5 or 6 finishers in a row, and you never know who's going to come out on top. I will tell you that is probably, whether you know the storyline or not, it doesn't matter. It's got enough in it. It's entertaining, and it's that classic story because, and in this one, it's cool because you don't have a good guy necessarily. This is a little bit more. I saw comparisons of like Naruto and anime. I will say this is a little bit more
we are getting all the deep end if we're going anime.
I hope people are still listening. I hope people are still listening because I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
we could have referenced something else here, buddy. We could have, because you may have lost me on that one.
Okay.
You were going somewhere, but I'm not going to let that one fly.
Nico, Batman versus Superman. Let's go with that.
Thank you. That works. That works.
I'm sorry. I was going to go to Dragon Ball Z, but then I remembered that not many people go down that kind of rabbit hole. Yes. It's Batman versus Superman, where both of them are the faces, so they both have to get their shit in, and they both have to look great, and somehow you have to figure out a way for it to end and nobody be disappointed. And they were able to do that. Now, I don't know if you could say that about the ending of the Batman Superman movie with the way that ended, but
you can look at the Snyder cut and maybe that will make it better.
You might like that one a little bit better. There is no extended cut of this match. It is beautiful perfection. It was live. You never really know if they're going to commit, like go to the main roster very well in WWE when
It's
they're coming
basically
from
this is probably
NXT.
the highlight of both of these guys. Not
It
obviously
could
I hate
be,
saying it.
it could be, but it's the match. It's the same thing that I do with the Rey Mysterio Eddie Guerrero match from Halloween Havoc when Rey's in the purple suit. I'm sure you've seen. There's
I've seen
clips
it
of that. Yeah, I will probably go back and watch this match just randomly every now and then, and I know who's gonna win. But just seeing like, there's some cool shit that I can't even. It's total guy stuff, which is funny too, because since we've last talked, I also saw the Barbie movie, and now the joke in my relationship has been
Oh
I live in a
man.
Mojo Dojo Casa house, and that
Oh
is
my god, we've gone off the deep end on this show. We were referencing Barbie and we were referencing anime.
I will give you credit, Nico.
We
I will
look,
give you credit
Jimmy, you're one of
because
my best friends, buddy. But I draw a line, and I am
I know
drawing the line of Barbie and anime. I am gonna draw the line in the sand
that's
of that
fine.
one.
I will give you credit because you allowed this show not to veer this far from sports for 3.5 years. I've
Look,
gotten to the point where I can get you pretty far off topic,
and I
but
have
it took
allowed
me
it.
a while. It
I
took
have
me a while.
allowed it. I have fully allowed it, and I have embraced it. But I am not ever jumping into those waters. I'll tell you that.
That's fine, and
That
that's a
is
good. That's a good wrapping up point because we are coming to the end of the show, and it's also a good time for me to throw this in there. I've ran it by with you. I'm putting this on our same feed.
WWE still puts out great content. It absolutely
Yeah.
does. I know your boy Gable Stevenson is wrestling. That's not.
I didn't really care for that. Well, it was good, but it's bad ending.
The man should be fighting in the UFC and just see what Bo Nickel's doing.
Go to the Olympics. I need another. I want a
Yeah.
2-time Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. That's what I want.
Either way, do something else. You don't really need to be proving yourself by doing that in the developmental scene in front of 2,000 fans. Like, come on now. All right. But like I said, look, it's still entertaining. I watch it every now and then. It still crossed my timeline. Like I said, I'll see the highlights. I won't be able to watch it because I'll be in Baltimore, Maryland, but I will see it come across my Twitter timeline, and I may my X timeline, and I might like the what do they call it now? The X, not because it's not might not like the tweet anymore.
It's not a tweet, yeah.
Whatever the hell it's called now. So
your post, your
the post.
thread.
That's it's terrible. It really is terrible. But yeah, like I said, WWE still puts out bangers every single week. It really does. There's always a highlight that you can be like, holy shit, how did grown men do that? And honestly, if I'm not in my post Shark Week hangover and watching all the replays of what happened last week because I was watching Shark Week all week, I may throw that on and see what's going on because, like I said, the NXT I watched when Adam Cole was there and I watched when was the peak of it when Ciampa was there, and that was like the peak for me of watching it. So I haven't watched it recently, but I've heard good things about everyone that's been down there. And like I said, WWE. It's that time of summer. If you haven't noticed, ladies and gentlemen, the trade deadline happened today. We didn't talk about it, so we that will be trade deadline. And like I said, we have fine things. That's why you got to watch the PLL. That's why you should watch SummerSlam. That's why you should watch, I guess, Barbie, and I guess that's why you should watch anime and Naruto. So, welcome to the Far End of the Bench, episode 145, with a thumbnail more than likely would be Naruto.
I thought we were going Mario and Luigi because of the mustaches, but
we may.
And I was trying to bridge some sort of gap. I never watched Naruto. I was a Dragon Ball and a Yu-Gi-Oh person. But I thought that, more than likely there was going to be more people that recognize Naruto with anime than Dragon Ball Z. I fumbled. I will put that out there. That was not.
I just had to make sure. That you knew that I was not going to let you keep going down that rabbit hole.
That's why I'm getting my own show on Sundays. I get my own.
Exactly.
30-minute live show.
Quickly away from anime as quickly as possible because I'm not letting that fly on the show that I own half of. So
yeah,
I'm not letting that. I love you,
fine.
Jenny, but I will talk about wrestling. I will not talk about anime and Barbie, even though Margot Robbie is still an absolute smoke show. That's all I'll have on the Barbie movie.
Ryan Gosling is a guy that I would like to hang out with. He seems like a bro. So
You mean the guy that was in Remember the Titans? That guy? Yeah.
yeah, no, the
guy
liability
the
at
guy
safety.
liability core? Yeah, safety, whatever it was, liability. That's all I see.
Put Petey in. He's better. Yeah, no, that's I'm going to be having my own show, Sunday Scaries, live on Sunday mornings. I'm going to say probably around 10:30 Mountain Time. I'll have a logo made. It'll be on the same feed, so you don't have to go anywhere else. It'll be on its own playlist on the YouTube channel. It'll be it'll still download if you're following to the far end of the bench, because it's hard enough to build one feed. So why try and build up more? Let's just continue to throw content out there. If you are enjoying the anime talk, if you are enjoying the Barbie conversation, if you are a teacher and want to hear some crazy stories, you're like me vent about stuff that I'm worried about going into the week, I'll also try and give updates on what the content is going to be like for the far end of the bench. So if we have another week where we're not going to have an episode, you will have something before that tells you. But yeah, Sunday Scaries is going to be a weekly thing throughout the school year, and football season's also starting. There's a lot.
It's Saturday night Scaries. What do you think? Oh, fuck, who do we play this week? Or Wednesday night Scaries, being like, oh man, they're fucking playing again. Like, we're playing on Thursday night. Oh, I gotta fucking drag myself to the TV to watch this damn team. Luckily, the Sunday Scaries for you get to enjoy watching football. Me, I'm just gonna sit here and be pissed off every 5 seconds. But it doesn't matter because I'm still an NBA world champion, Jimmy. So that's all that matters. Thank you. And here comes the cue with across the stream. Thank you, Jimmy. Right on cue.
It's in my contract. You do own half the show. You wrote it in the contract. Every time that we mention it, it has to be put up on the screen. Make sure you follow us on X, on Instagram, on any social media platform, TikTok at FEOTV Pod. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out Sunday Scaries. First episode will be dropping this Sunday. It'll be live 10:30 Mountain Standard Time in the morning. And yeah, be sure to tell your friends. Like I said before, like, subscribe, retweet, repost, tell a friend, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Help us out. Help us continue to grow. We'll continue to bring more content your way, and we'll have plenty more where that came from. We'll have a little bit of PLL preview and some more content coming out about that next week. But this has been episode 145.
It's going to be a fun weekend. Like I said, lots of stuff going on. Interact with Jimmy's show, Sunday Scaries. Like I said, whatever the gridiron, talking the gridiron, we'll be back to here shortly. Like, we got lots of fun things going on. So, and you bet your ass that we'll be giving lots of live content when the PLL is here in Denver next weekend. So I'm very excited.
Definitely. Episode 145 for myself, Jimmy Pilato, my co-host Nico Bryant. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. We will see you next week.
Peace.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.